Hello, what's up guys? Today I'll be teaching you the basics of claw. First, you need obviously your phone, your game of choice loaded, a hairband if you have an extremely long fringe like me. So first you wanna obviously put on your hairband because if not, why would you have it? So give me a second. The next step would be to load up your game. So for claw, there are two types of claw. There is left claw and right claw. Personally, I use 6 fingers, but we will just cover 4-finger claw to keep things simple. Some people prefer to use paw, which is 3 fingers, but the minimum for playing FPS games at a competitive level is 4. So you wanna go to your HUD layout, and as you can see, you see a lot of buttons, correct? Don't get too confused, as you know, it's quite intimidating to be honest. The first things first, your shoot buttons. One of them, your shoot button should be at the top left or top right, with nothing that can be clicked. For example, if I were to put my crouch, and I would like to shoot and crouch, I could not do it at the same time, as you can see. For to lay my hands like this, it will not work because I can't move my finger, I can't TP my finger. While if I put it on the right side, it will work. If your game has a scope, I recommend that your shoot and scope button should be on 2 opposite sides. What I mean by this is, for example, your shoot button is on the left. That means your scope button should be on the right, along with your crouch, prone, etc. Your shoot button should usually be left alone or be put with buttons like your exit button, your reload button, and your revive button, as you can see here. Another thing about claw is that your joystick should always be free, and you should always use your thumb unless you're playing 10-finger claw, which you will use your index. As you are moving, you need to keep in mind that you don't want to press anything. You want to keep moving in some first-person shooters. For example, there's a backpack here in PUBG. We don't want that. We want to move while looting, correct? So we don't want that there. Cancelling, we want to move while being able to cancel, so we can put that somewhere else, and I messed it up somehow. Next thing about claw is your right thumb. You must use your right thumb to turn your camera around. You can't use it to, for example, do things like shooting, as that would defeat the purpose of claw. Scoping, which would also defeat the purpose of claw, as claw is meant to allow you to scope in and shoot at the same time. What you can put are your side peek buttons for PUBG, your reload buttons, your prone buttons, as when you're going down, it takes time for you, for some games, for some first-person shooters like Call of Duty and PUBG, it takes time for you to go into the prone position to do an action, a movement sequence, also known as a drop shot. You can put it at the bottom right, but your crouch, jump, I don't think we should put it there, considering you're aiming with your right thumb. Another thing right about claw is that your buttons can overlap. For example, in PUBG, your scope button can overlap with your cancel button. Why, you ask? Because you're not going to scope in with a frag grenade, am I right? The other thing you can, what was it again? You can overlap is your vaulting button and your jump button. As when you jump, you are already vaulting. Get what I mean here? But make sure your buttons don't overlap with things like your minimap, as the game, for at least for PUBG, it prioritizes opening the minimap compared to shooting. What was it? Where is my scope button? Whoa, I don't know what I did. Oh. Example, your scope button. It doesn't prioritize that. Prioritizes the minimap above everything else. Your voice calls shouldn't overlap as well. But you're gonna ask me, Neko, some games I just really don't have space to place my fingers, as my fingers will just obstruct everything. To that I say, there is a way. The way is to put your, bend your fingers inwards. Try and make it as natural as possible. For example, your right thumb, it can't reach it or block too much. Can move it back a bit. It's that simple. For example, when you stretch it, it reduces your line of sight. Move it to the right. Move it to the left, or something like that. Quite simple. But you're gonna ask me again, where do I put my buttons that I don't need? First of all, there's differences. On some games, they allow you to hide some buttons. For example, this in PUBG, you can hide one of your shoot buttons, I believe. Oh, you can't do that anymore. You can overlap them at least. In PUBG, I believe you can hide a few buttons, select few buttons. For example, for the buttons you don't use that much, you can just splash them in the middle. Splash them with your right thumb, your left thumb. Doesn't matter, because you're not going to be using them that much. But for your minimap example, you need to see, you can, for example, place it in the middle. Place it in the right, just put your scope button more in front. Your voice call, you could put it down here. I forgot to mention this just now, but you can also decrease the opacity of your buttons to, help you see better, etc. Okay, now I'll teach you some exercises you can do.
Okay, hi, Neko from the future, real quick.
Fudge! Okay, I'll show you how to do some really quick and easy stretch. First, cracking your fingers. Fingers like this. Press, 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 press. Crack. Crack all 5 of your fingers with this. Next is, you bend your fingers inwards. Press, 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 press. You can crack these 4 fingers over. The next stretches I'll show you are anti-RSI stretches, which will hopefully help you, improve your gameplay and make it more comfortable for you to play close. First, you go stretch like this and then back it up like this. First one is in tensing your fingers and moving it, and it's that simple. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't mind the background.